And we are back with segment 2 of the RE/MAX Magnolia show. Normally Michelle Cummins is here, but she's away on a little trip, so I'm always here. My name's Curtis Pope, and with me we have Kelly Robertson from RE/MAX Magnolia, who we discovered we have a lot in common from our past growing up in the little hamlet, the little village of Richmond.
Yes.
The little Richmond, small little place.
Small little island of Richmond.
Lulu Island.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll give you a little history lesson on Richmond here. No, we're not going to do that. But one thing I was going to ask you is, I live in the Fraser Valley. I grew up in Richmond. You grew up in Richmond. You live in the Fraser Valley. And then we're not alone. I've ran into a few people I went to high school with and things like that now live out here. And it seems to be that a lot of people have made that jump because it's just more affordable out this way.
Yeah, definitely. I think it all obviously started in 2020 when people didn't have to go in and work in an office. They were able to do online work. And so they started branching out on where they wanted to move or, where they could move to.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be part of it. But even, before it seemed like there was, I guess with the prices, when you compare what a home in Richmond or Delta or Ladner costs compared to what you can get here in Abbotsford, Mission or Chilliwack, I mean, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, that's what we did. It was way before COVID when we moved to Yarrow and we were living in Richmond. So sold the house in Richmond, took some time to look around. We didn't just choose Chilliwack. We went and looked. We went to Squamish. We went to Vancouver Island. We went to Pemberton. We went Salt Spring Island. We looked all over to see where was a great place to raise a family because, as you grow your family, you want to have a lot of different things for to raise them right, which is you want to have affordability, you want good schools, you want to have a good community, accessibility to all the, like community centers, all that stuff. So we took our time and Yarrow was where we ended up, and it really did. It offered so much for a young family. So that's where we ended up going, and I see why so many people are following along.
Yarrow's a neat little spot too because it is a small little community out to itself, but then at the same time, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to get to Abbotsford or Chilliwack or Cultus Lake or whatever. It's this little gem kind of on the edge of the valley there.
Yeah, even just to drive back to Vancouver from Yarrow, you're just that much closer. It's under an hour, really, and you're there. So it's unique that way. 20 minutes to Cultus and into Chilliwack, and they have an elementary school there as well. So it's a small town with its own elementary school, which is right near the Vedder River, which is amazing. They take the kids out, they get to explore.
Yeah, it's a great little spot. And I imagine that's, it's some of the things that people do look at. I mean, I know I've had a few friends, obviously, they've had to move out of Richmond because you get priced out. And once you leave, you're probably not going back. I know it's the same with North Van, same with Vancouver, a lot of these places that, once you do leave, you're probably not going to be able to afford to go back. But when you get out here, you find that it's a pretty great lifestyle. Yeah,
I think what I've noticed over the years of selling houses out in the valley is you do get these people that go, wow, I had no idea. Once they get out here and realize it's not just like a country, we have everything you would want out here. And we also have access to all the outdoor, activities that right at your doorstep. So it's great. It's a great value.
And even the other thing that we don't really talk about much because the dollar hasn't been great, but yeah, you can hop across the border too. You can be in Bellingham in no time if you live in the valley.
Yeah, 100%. The Sumas border crossing, right? It's right there.
And it's never as busy as Peace Arch.
Yeah. Yes. Don't need to go there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that too. I mean, it's a really great central place. You want to be in Vancouver, you could be in Vancouver. You want to be in the Okanagan, well, you can be in the Okanagan. I mean, it's a good spot, and I can see why people want to move out here. And again, the big key is affordability.
Yeah, exactly. We also even have the airport in Abbotsford too, right? Which you can fly out of there and go anywhere you want. So, I think that people are catching on and they're just slowly making their way out. It started with Langley and, moving to Abbotsford and Mission, and Chilliwack is getting busy. The schools are full. They built a brand new school. It's an elementary and middle school right on the river to accommodate all these people coming out. And yeah, from what I've seen and people I've sold houses to, that they're so thrilled with the change, with the move out here.
And of course, things are changing too when it comes to what you can get out here. Because I know we were talking a bit, Kelly, about you have an eco village that you were telling me a bit about. So tell me more about that.
Yeah. When we moved to Yarrow, I started meeting some of the families out there, and a few of them were mentioning that they live at the Yarrow Eco Village, and I had never heard of this before. And when I started to get invited there, it's actually just over a 20-acre farm in the back and 33-unit residential in the front. So you have, like, it's not a townhouse where it's so many different configurations. Some of them are houses, some of them are a 2-bedroom unit, some of them are what they call a quad, which is like a house with 4 different residences inside that share the kitchen for affordability. So essentially you are a percentage owner inside of this house. So you are a home owner, but you don't have to buy the whole house. You just buy a percentage and share the kitchen. So They're trying to branch out and come up with ideas for affordable living. So that's one unique way that they've done it.
That's a pretty cool idea, actually. And, the fact that there's a farm attached to it too, is kind of cool. I guess, does that get through the ALR stuff like that to do it that way? Or?
Yeah, so the farm is actually an option. You can lease an acre of farmland when you live there, and it is ALR, and it's a certified organic farm. And yeah, you pay yearly. It's really affordable, and then you can use it for your own small business or for feeding your family. Some people have chickens. There's apple trees, blueberries. Some people grow nothing but blueberries and then sell them at the markets in the summer. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to have that. And then also, if you're a young family, it's really nice to have access to all of that with young kids, because they get to grow up and experience that lifestyle and learn just right from home without having to buy a farm.
Right. Now, for something like that, I mean, I don't know if you'd have any idea, but you may have a rough idea. Is that a great way for people to kind of get into the housing market in something like that?
I think so. When I've sold and represented sellers for that, the Yarrow Eco Village, what I noticed was we've got people coming from all over. It's not just one. You're not just coming from Chilliwack. We've got a lot of people coming from the city looking to get more space for their families, but can't afford to buy a house. So they can come in at the price of a condo and get access to all of the outdoor space. They also have a common house, which they host community dinners at. Mm-hmm. So you can participate in like a community living where you share meals with your neighbors and you don't have to do all the cooking yourself, which is appealing to young families and downsizers as well. People that are, kids have grown up and left home and you're alone, and then you get a place where you can kind of go meet your neighbors and actually, help each other out.
Very cool. Okay. Now, you were also telling me, off air that you got a chunk of property right on the river. You've got a bit of a hike to get there, but it's really not that far from the Fraser Valley. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, it's the Nahatlatch River. So we ended up stumbling upon this estate sale, and they sold portions of land up on the river there. And so we decided, because we had sold our house in Yarrow and we were renting, that would be a really great investment for our family and for our friends. We have a large extended family that loves nature. So we got this piece of land, and we're super thrilled about it. And it's right on the river. It's off-grid, it's off the Forest Service road, so our kids get to run around and go hiking and fishing and, make fires and learn all about the edible plants and forage for food. So it's been really fun.
That's really cool. And that was just something you just kind of came across as an estate sale. So that's something that you keep an eye on for. So if you had a client going, I'm looking for a chunk of property, but I only have this as a budget. And you know what? There's a place up here or over there or whatever.
Yeah. I find that people do come to me knowing that we have this for ourselves. I do attract a lot of people that are like, well, I want to get an off-grid piece of land, or I want to move. A lot of people come to me that are looking to get out of town. Like I recently sold people that were living in Port Moody. They wanted to get out of town and they bought up in Boston Bar. They couldn't be happier. So yeah, now that people know that I'm familiar with that kind of a real estate transaction, they do come to me, and I do enjoy helping them because I think it's a lot of fun and it's great for people to get out and experience nature.
Well, Kelly, it's been great having you on here as you fill in for Michelle today. And, of course, it's another one of the team members from RE/MAX Magnolia. And if people want to have a look at your listings or what you guys have going on, I guess they can go to the website?
They can, 100%.
All
or
right.
Come visit us at the office because we're open in Mission, and we'd love to have you.
And you guys have a really kind of cool, the stuff on the window for people to read all the listings, don't you?
Yeah, they're backlit. They're all put up now, so... Friday nights, James will be singing. Yes,
every Friday night.
Every Friday night, James will be singing, but we do have...
James is there sometimes.
James is there sometimes.
Sometimes we let him sing, sometimes we don't.
Sometimes with a guitar, sometimes not.
That's right. Sometimes he's a cappella, other times he's got a guitar. Sometimes Richard joins him.
100%.
So head on over. You can find him right on 3rd Ave in Mission. And yeah, you've got all the displays up there and people can see all your listings and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for coming in, Kelly.
Thank you.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.